Hi everyone. In this video I will discuss with you some important Go terms you have absolutely to know if you want to reach at least 5Q. Let's start with the first, Agi. Agi means possibilities. So for instance, in this position, this white stone has Haji. Haji because, for example, white can extend like this and this can annoy black. Of course, this is not that so big threat, but this is a threat to separate this black group to this black group. So this stone has agi, possibilities. But also in this position, you may find that black has haji. Haji because this hole makes possible for black to play this kind of move. This is very good and very hard to counter for white. So in this position, when you start in this position, this is agi for black and this is agi for white. If black plays something like this and white connects, this is agi keshi. So you are ruining your agi because this is a threat that should be kept as an agi, a possibilities, as a co-threat, for example. We discuss this later. Okay, this is another word, hane. Hane means surround, try to surround, reach around. This is hane at the head of two stone, which is known as good shape for white and bad shape, of course, for black. This is a shimari. Shimari means you close in somehow the corner. Of course, this is another type of shimari, or even this kind is another shimari. So, okay. This is a co-threat. Co-threat means that if you find some position with ko, we can use the co-threat to win the co-battle. Let's have some example. In this position, black is losing this group once white play like this. Of course, you know that black cannot immediately recapture due to the core rule, so has to play another move. But let's look at the lower lower right part of the goban. Black can play this move, and this is a co-threat. Co-threat because it threatens all these stones to be cut off. So if white elects to save this stone, may play this, and of course black plays back, and now white cannot recapture, has to play another move, and black saves the group. This is good for black. If in this position white ignores the co-threat like this, playing something like this, no problem. Black will cut off this group from this group, and black gain more point than in the top left. This is about 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12 points at best. This is more than 12 points, so in this position black has gained a lot more than in this position. Okay, so this is co-threat. This is co and co-threat. Okay, another important word is miai. Miai means looking each other. This is a position, two points R and B, A and B are called miai if they have almost the same value. This is of course very well known. If white plays here, black can play back here and saves the group with two eyes. If of course you can find the opposite, so white plays here, black plays here, or here and here, the 2 point saves the group. So IB are miai for black. Moyo. Moyo means potential territory. In this position, for example, white has sketched out this moyo. This is more or less a moyo. Threatens to surround this kind of territory. And black also has a moyo, which is surrounded by this 4 stone. Of course, it's not territory, but in this position, it can become territory later. So this is a moyo. We are talking about the peep. This is a peep. When you play a stone that threatens to cut off two other enemy stone, this is called a peep. There is a saying that every people connects against a peep. So a peep usually means sente. Black has almost always to connect if the peep was right, of course, and then can play in another position. So let's look at the bottom right. In this position, this is a peep because black threatens to play in this position, and white need to connect. If white doesn't connect, the peep succeed, and these 2 stones are cut apart. Okay, a pincer. When there is a move that makes impossible for one player to settle a stone or settle the stone through a base, this is called a pincer. White cannot settle this stone in this part of the board, so has to play somewhere else. In this position, if black answer like this, this can be a base for white. To avoid this, we simply play the pincer. Another important word is sabaki. Sabaki is a technique used to settle some stone into the enemy territory. So, for example, this white stone is about to be captured. But let's look at this variation. White cuts, black grabs the stone, white attaries, black capture, and this is a ko. But these 3 stones has somehow settled themselves. These 3 stones are very light and threatens to capture this position. So, for example, if black plays another position, white threatens to win a ko and probably to win the situation in the corner. So when white reaches this position, maybe black has to block, and you can see that these stones are somehow settled and impossible to kill all. Okay, black can of course play like this, but now, as you can see, white can settle this group quite easily. Okay, just to have an example, it's not all the end of the story, of course. If in this position, okay, if in this position white would have played this way, this is a little heavy. So black respond like this, white has to escape, and this position is completely winning for black locally, of course. Then in this position, this final position, in which white has lost some stone but settled himself in the corner. Another important saying is that influence need extension. Influence means a part of the board where you have somehow control. This black wall radiates influence toward this position. So in this position, for example, it's hard for white to play without some risks. But in this position also, black needs to extend. Influence is worthless without an extension, suppose like this. Because if white succeed on making life, let's for example take this to stone, this influence is almost countered. So in this position, okay, black is really strong, but this life ruins this kind of influence. Ideally, black wants to play something like this and gain as much territory as possible. Last but not least is the word light and heavy. Light means with hole, and black means no holes, basically. So, for example, in the left part, there are all heavy shapes. This is heavy because it has not eyes potential. It has no holes. This is heavy because it has no eyes potential. And even this. But this can make easily an eye. For example, like this. Or, of course, this is almost an eye. So, if you play it lightly, is this. Heavy is this. Light means if even in this position with sabaki, you play it, okay, here, you play it lightly because you never did some stick shape. So in this position, it's very hard for black to kill all the group. See you next time.